Good evening to our viewers across the length and breadth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and South Africa. The voice you are listening to this evening is the voice of Kenite Publishers and Educational Research Institute and Learning Facilitating Firm. In conjunction with Pedagogues, we are using this medium to wish all children of school-going age a very happy beginning of their Waec examination. Special greetings to schools and school administrators across the length and breadth of the Federation. Special greetings to teachers, special greetings to students who are writing the examination. Wish you the very best in your examination. Our program is a blended learning platform to consolidate the very wonderful works that teachers are doing across the length and breadth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, most especially in the school setting. Silver or gold we do not have to give anybody, but tonight we are going to be trying our best to consolidate the very wonderful works that teachers are doing within the four walls of the classroom by giving a very profuse revision of the English language classes. The voice of the Pedagogues is the voice crying in the wilderness, saying prepare a very better place for the educational system and make it more solid. That's why we are doing our very best and contributing our quota in a little way to national development. Education remains a very vibrant tool and a very formidable ladder for national development, and there is nothing short of that. One of the best hope for the society we dream is qualitative and superlative education. Teachers in various schools have tried their best. Parents in various schools, having children in various schools have also tried their best. So that's why at this very dying minute we want to consolidate their efforts to ensure that we give the children who are preparing for examination the very best information that is needed for them to score very good grades. On this note, my unreserved apology goes to my unreserved appreciation rather goes to everybody who has been supporting us in one way or the other. I want to thank the WhatsApp community for supporting us to this very present moment. Similarly, I want to thank our Facebook community, all groups that allow our clips to be shared across the length and breadth of the Federation. Thank you very much and God bless you. We thank our viewers across the length and breadth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and South Africa for spending quality time with us on the program. scope of Pedagogues activity is on a very large note, hinges upon educational counseling and various information for educational administration, as well as blended learning objectives, making educational system very much solid in the country. So that's what we are here to do in Pedagogues Educational Research Institute and then facilitating firm. Education being to bring about the most desirable quality in a person, stirring it up. So that's why we are here to ensure that the only vibrant ladder for national development, which is qualitative education, is assured in various schools. We are giving the piece of advice for children of school-going age to read their books and study very hard, because when they study very hard and they make it, they will be able to defend whatever they have as the certificates. So that's the only thing that will make the difference between them and those who cut corners. The only advocacy we give on this platform is that qualitative education is possible and it is very much attainable. So that's why we are contributing our quota, and we are trying their very possible best to ensure that children of school-going age do their very best. So we have a lot of clips that we have produced on various topics, most especially in English language for children who find it very difficult in any aspect. We have clips on various aspects ranging from grammar to phonetics and many other aspects that they can go through, so that they will be able to to have a remedy for whatever lapse they have. It's a paced learning initiative that we dream very soon should become a radio program and a television broadcast, so that it will be more beneficial to children of school-going age across the country. Silver or gold, I do not have to give anybody, but at least I can still do this for my country, which is Nigeria. It is my belief that Nigeria will be better. Thank you, sir, Mr. Abayomi. Thank you very much for watching us. Thank our viewers across the length and breadth of the country. Thank you so much. So without wasting our time tonight, I'm going to be dealing very profusely with a number of topics that are very salient and germane to passing O-level English language. And of course, it's going to be very profuse, like I have said. So I urge children of school-going age to watch us. And I think I can see Mr. Tosin watching me. Thank you very much, my very good uncle. God bless you. So there are some topics that are very important and very germane to passing O-level English language, and of course I'm going to start today from tenses. When we talk about tenses, it's a reflection of times of action in English language, and of course the knowledge of tenses will help you to write very good essay, and of course the knowledge of tenses as well will make you do well in your summary and comprehension as well, and it will also be tested in the objective. So without wasting our time, when we talk about tenses, we have what we call the present tense. That is what you do every day, every week, every morning, every night. What is habitual every evening, every year. E.g., go is a present tense, write is a present tense, sing is a present tense, fight is a present tense, and you combine it with some subjects in English language, which could be either plural, singular. So we say, I go to school every day, we sing every day, we talk every day, we run every day, you run every day. That is present tense. Then when it is past tense, you say went, that's past tense of go, ran, that's past tense of run, came, that's past tense of come. Say we came here yesterday, I did my assignment last night, I saw him yesterday, we did our work last night, we ate last evening, I went to church yesterday. That's past tense. Then when you talk about perfect tense can be either the present perfect or the past perfect. When it is present perfect, you use it with the auxiliary verb as, have. That's it. You say he has done the work, he has given me the money, he has taken the book. When you say she has done the work. So the perfect tense is usually used with the ed and en auxiliary, ed and en infinitive verb. So say he has done the work, she has done the work. When it's plural, you say they have done, they have taken, they have written. So that is perfect tense. So then when it is past perfect tense, is the use of the had auxiliary with the en and ed infinitive verb. He had done the work before I left. She had taken the book before I came. We had given him the money before he left. So had, when you use had, you continue the tense, the sentence before till you have another past tense verb. So that is the use of had. Then when you use the continuous tense, is the use of the be auxiliary. Am, is, are, was, were. He is running. That is present continuous, or you call it the present progressive. She is talking. They are coming. They are eating. We are running. So that is present continuous. Then when it is a past continuous tense, then you say he was coming when I saw him. She was running when I came here. She was eating when I came. They were fighting before I left. They were reading before I came. That is past tense, past continuous tense. So it can either be singular or plural. Then we have what we call the simple present tense, and all you call it the third person singular. So when it is the third person singular, it has the S inflection, and it's usually combined with the third person singular subject. He goes to school every day. She comes every day. She runs every day. She talks every day. She fights every day. She sings every day. So when you have he, she, it, which is for animal or non-living thing, is being used with third person singular verbs. And third person singular verbs are verbs that carry the S inflection. So he goes, she comes regularly every day, every night, every morning. So that's what you call the tenses. Then on a very broad note, you still have some maybe present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous tense, e.g. he has been doing it for 3 years now. She has been coming here for a decade. She has been running for my country for years. That is present perfect continuous. When it is past perfect continuous, He had been doing it before I left for London. She had been coming here before I won the scholarship. So that is past perfect continuous tense. Then you can have future tense. I will see you tomorrow. I will come here next week. So that is future tense. So the knowledge of tenses will help you to write very good essays. So you have to mind your tenses. Then I would like to go to concord. When you talk about concord, it's talking about the subject-verb agreement. It is a rule in English language that a singular subject will go with a singular verb, while a plural subject will go with a plural verb. So you say he goes, she comes, she sings, she fights, she talks every day. We go. When a verb does not have s, it is plural. We is plural, so it will go with plural verb. We go to church every day. We sing every day. They come here every day. They fight every day. So that is plural and the plural verb. Plural subject agreeing with plural verb. But even though I is a singular subject, it will always go with a plural verb. That's why you say I go to church every day. I come here regularly. So take note of that. Then when you talk about subjects in English language, it could either be a noun or a pronoun. So now from your primary school, you say they name things, persons, people, places. So those are names. It could be plural, it could be singular. Then we talk about pronoun. Then you can talk about the pronoun subjects, which could either be singular or pronoun. So you say I go, we go, you go, you sing. So that is it. Then there are some subjects that are not definite. For example, everyone, you say goes, you cannot say go. Everyone is an indefinite pronoun, so it will always go with a singular verb. Everyone goes to church, everyone comes here, everyone sings, everyone fights, everyone talks, everyone resumes tomorrow. So that is how it is being used. Somebody is at my door, somebody goes there, somebody comes here every day, somebody fights for you every year. That is how it is being used, and you have to take note because it will be in the objective. So you say many is plural, so it will go with a plural verb. Many of my students were here yesterday. Many of my students come here regularly. It's not comes, come. Many, come. Many is plural, so it will go with come, not comes. So that is how it is being used. You say all is plural, so it will go with a plural verb. All my students are intelligent. All my students run for the school. All my students read in the evening. So read there is plural, so it will go with all, which is plural. So then you call something proximity concord. Proximity concord is the use of either or. Either Tolu or Tunji is my friend. Either Tolu or the four boys are my friend. Proximity is nearness. That is, the subject that is closer to the verb will determine the verb. Either Tolu or the four boys are. Because four boys is plural, so it will go with a plural verb. Either Shade or BC is my friend. BC is singular, so it will go with a singular verb. So that is concord for you. You say he has. He is singular. Has is singular. They have. They is plural. Have is plural. Even though I is singular, it will still go with plural verb. Say I have, or I go, I read, I come. So even though I is singular is an exception, it will still go with a plural verb. So take note of this because you will always apply it in your essay. You will always apply it. So then I would just like to move to preposition. So if there is any of these topics you are not good, you are not really vast with, you can have some of our tips that deal directly with these topics. So it will be of help better. Most especially, for example, we have done some tips on concord, on oral, on argumentative, on essays, different essays, on different things. You can still go back to these clips, just search for them, and you will locate them by the special grace of God. So let's move to preposition. Preposition is a part of speech that shows the relationship between two things: on, in, at, by, with, onto, before. These are preposition. Say the book is on the table. On there is telling me the relationship between the book and the table. The water is under the bridge. Under there is telling me the relationship between the water and the bridge. So that is just it. When you say the bag is in the car, in is telling me the relationship between the bag and the car. He gave him a blow on the head. On the head is telling me the relationship between the blow and the head. He gave him a stab in the chest. In there is telling me the relationship between the stab and the chest. So prepositions tell us the relationship between two things. So then when you use some words such as each other is used for two things. Taiwo and Kehinde are fighting each other. Each other is a reciprocal pronoun. One another is used for three or more things. Tolu, Tunji, and Jide are fighting one another. Both is used for two things. Both Taiwo and Kehinde are my friends. Both Nigeria and Ghana are in West Africa. When you use between is used for two things. The argument is between the husband and the wife. Among is used for three or more things. I shared the mangoes among the 5 boys. I shared the money among the 5 boys. So among is used for 3 or more things. So take note of all these things. They are always very there. They are always there. They are always there in the objective. Take notes. Take notes. So then we talk about phrasal verb. Phrasal verb is the use of the verb and adverbial particles or preposition. And phrasal verb by their very nature do not have literal meaning. They do not have ordinary meaning. There are layers of linguistic analysis in English language. That is, the meaning is always behind the lines. Is always behind the lines. That is not just literal. There are connotative meanings. That is not just the literal meaning, not just the ordinary meaning. When you say break into, it means to forcefully enter somewhere. The thief broke into the house yesterday. So if I say take in, it means to deceive. It was easily taken in yesterday. I say take to, it means to lie. Little children take to those who give them biscuits. If I say round up, it means to arrest. The police rounded up the criminals yesterday. If I say round off simply means to end a particular meeting. So if I say break down, it means to develop a mechanical fault. The vehicle broke down yesterday. So you say come across, it means to meet unexpectedly. I came across my friend yesterday. If I say prevail upon, it means to force your will over somebody. I prevailed upon him to pay the child's Waec fee. So that is what we call phrasal verb. So then when you talk about idioms, they are just like very beautiful use of language, and of course they do not also have ordinary meaning. All these things will be in the objective, so take note of them. They are that is how the Waec question is being structured. So when you talk about idioms, for example, if I say he took a French leave, it means he went somewhere, he left without permission. If I say he has skeleton in his cupboard, it means he has shameful secrets. If I say a nip in the bud, it means prevention. The police intervention in the matter nipped the criminal's activity in the bud, stopped it abruptly. That's the meaning. If I say uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, it means it is not easy to be a leader. If I say let us bury the architect, it means let us end the fight. If I say let the sleeping dog lie, it means let us end the fight. If I say this boy is a great crasher, it means somebody who went somewhere without permission. If I say he was given a red carpet treatment, it means he was given a very honorable treatment at the party, something like that. So there are various things, usage of expressions like that you have to take note. If I say his house is a stone throw, it means his house is not far. If I say he met his Waterloo yesterday, it means that he met his defeat. If I say mathematics is my Achilles heel, it means it's my area of difficulty. So if I say my account is in the red, it means I don't have money in my account. If I say he robbed Peter to pay Paul, it means that to collect from somebody and give to another person. If I say he's the breadwinner of the family, it means the person that is taking the responsibility of the family. So that is what we call idioms. Idioms, you know these things through wide reading, and you have to go to the particular textbook where you have as many as possible and read them up. So they are very necessary. So I would like to go to synonyms. Synonyms are words that are similar in meaning. And of course, synonyms will be tested in two places in the O-level English. In the objective, paper 2 objective will be tested, and it will also be tested in the comprehension passage in your paper 1. So make sure that the synonym you are given to a word follows the same structure, most especially in the comprehension passage. So for example, if you are given a word that ends with ed in the comprehension passage, make sure the synonym you are given also ends with past tense, which is ed. If it's present continuous, make sure the synonym you are given is present continuous. If it's ending with ly, maybe probably an adverb, you are given the synonym that is ending with ly, which is equally an adverb. If it's the particular word is present tense, make sure it's present tense. If it's simple present tense, make sure the synonym you are given is simple present tense. In other words, the synonym you are given to a particular word must be substitutable in line with the context where the particular word appears. For example, if I say flabbergast, it means surprise. Immediately you say flabbergasted, the word you will give, that will be the synonym, will be surprised. If it's flabbergasts, it will be surprises. So take note, the word must be substitutable. If I say greatly, it could mean enormously. If I say obstinately, it could be obdurately or stubbornly. If I say concurrently, it could be simultaneously. So words like that. If I say doubtfully, it could be skeptically. So words like that, words must follow the same structure. If I say awards, it could be laurels. Awards, laurel. If it is award, it will be laurel. So make sure that words that you give are synonymous, that you consider as synonyms, are substitutable. So make sure you read. I'm talking directly to, I believe I'm talking to the particular audience demography that I'm talking directly to this evening, the students who want to write their Waec. So I just appreciate those that are online with me, that are watching. So maybe you are a parent or a school administrator. Make sure that you drive these facts to them. I'm still going to be dealing with so many issues and topics tonight. So, and I urge school administrators to allow these children to go through these clips to consolidate the very wonderful works that their teachers are doing, just to make sure that they succeed. So that's just my intention for doing these clips. So then when we talk about antonyms, antonyms are words that are opposite in meaning to each other. So this one will be tested in the objective, maybe I think 10 questions or thereabout. That's how it's been tested. Then when you talk about register antonyms, so when you say good, bad, things like that, I say, so there are many antonym words that are If you say optimistic, pessimistic will be the antonym. If I say reveal, it could be diverge. That would be the antonym. So there are words like that. If you say transparent, it could be opaque. If you say lucrative, it could be unrewarding or something like that. So it could be. So make sure that you go through these topics in very wonderful textbooks and go through your teacher's notes. So registers are vocabularies that are specific with some field of discipline. It could be on sports, it could be on entertainment, it could be on advertisement, it could be on journalism, it could be any field of human endeavor. So there are specific vocabularies attributed to specific disciplines and the field of studies. For example, in politics or election, you can be having party system, you can be having polling booths, you can be having cubicle, you can be having manifesto. These are vocabularies associated with what do I call it now? With election. So if you are talking about education, you'll be talking about continuous assessment, you'll be talking about evaluation, you'll be talking about inspector, you can be talking about feedback. These are vocabularies related to the field of education. So if you are talking about medicine, you can be talking about gynecology, you can be talking about ward, you can be talking about thermometer, you can be talking about diagnosis, you can be talking about different words. You can be talking about blood transfusion, pandemic, epidemic. So these are words associated with medicine. Gynecology, psychiatry, orthopedic, intensive care. So these are vocabularies associated with medicine. If you are talking about law, you can be talking about plaintiff, you can be talking about prosecuting counsel, you can be talking about proceedings, you can be talking about Supreme Court, appeal. These are languages, and you can be talking about brief. These are the languages attributed to the legal system. So it is very much important for children of school going age to read wide, to read vast, to be vast. So when you are very vast, it is very easy for you to be able to flow along wherever the examiner wants to test you. Then another very important thing about register is that at times when you want to pick your answer, for you to be able to pick very good answer, you read it beyond where you have the spaces. At times you read it forward so that you'll be able to know exactly what to pick. That's a tip. So I'll be sharing some tips for you to answer some questions so that you'll be able to answer these questions correctly. Then without wasting our time, tonight we'll be moving to figures of speech. These are creative use of language in an elevated way, the use of language in a way that is not ordinary. Talking about this figure of speech will be tested in your comprehension passage, and of course it can offer you either 1 mark or 3 marks. You say, what is the figure of speech for this expression? That is 1 mark. What is the meaning according to the way it has been used? That is 2 marks. So in your comprehension, I'm dealing with a topic that can offer you 3 cheap marks. So for example, you say simile. Simile is an indirect comparison where you have as and like. He is as gentle as a dove. They are as dangerous as a snake. He behaves like a goat. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, like a diamond in the sky. So that is what you call simile. Then when you say metaphor, metaphor is a direct comparison. For example, he has a heart of stone. You are comparing the stone, the stubborn nature of a stone, to the heart. That is metaphor. That is a direct comparison. They say he is a charcoal. Charcoal there, maybe the person is dark. You don't say he's as dark as charcoal. You say he is a charcoal. That is metaphor. So that is what we call a direct comparison. Then when you say personification, personification is the transfer of human attribute and quality to a non-living thing. They say my pen is dancing. Only human being can dance. You are now saying my pen is dancing. That is personification. I say my heart is protesting. It's only human being that can protest. My heart is protesting in the rib cage. That is personification. They say the sky is weeping. It's only human being that can weep. We are now saying the sky is weeping. The moon is peeping. That is personification. My car roared and coughed to life at the third push. It's the only human being that can cough, and only lion, a living entity, that can roar. So that is what you call personification, giving human attributes to a non-living thing. Then when you say irony, is saying the opposite of what is intended. Thank you very much, my very honorable brother, Mr. Oyela King Benga, watching us. He's another fellow learned colleague. Thank you so much. So when you say irony, saying the opposite of what you intend in such a way that the person you are speaking to understand what you are saying. You can eat the food because I don't have mouth to eat. That is ironical. Because in the actual sense, you know I don't want you to eat the food. So the boy is very brilliant, having failed his examination. That is ironical. Somebody who is brilliant will not fail his examination. So the school team is very strong. They played 10 matches, lost 9, and they won only 1. That is ironical. So that is irony. So by the time you also have euphemism. Euphemism is saying something serious in a very mild or gentle way. For example, the girl has been put into family way. That is euphemism. The boy is a gentleman of the road. Gentleman of the road means he is a rogue, he is a thief. That is euphemism. The man has kicked the bucket. Instead of to say he has died, that is euphemism. So it's a euphemistic statement. So then you have what you call hyperbole. It's either you call it hyperbole or exaggeration, or you call it overstatement. So for example, he ate a mountain of pounded yam. That is hyperbole. I'll say, I have been to his house in a million times. That is hyperbole. So hyperbole is gross exaggeration, or you call it overstatement. Then there is still another one. You call something oxymoron. Oxymoron is the juxtapositioning, placing side by side of two opposite words. For example, the matter is an open secret. Open and secret are two opposite words. So that is what you call oxymoron. Women are necessary evil. They are necessary and they are still evil. That is oxymoron in nature. Is fiend angelic? Fiend is somebody dastardly. Angelic is somebody godly. Fiend and angelic. Jane is honestly dishonest. That is oxymoron. So I think we are okay with figures of speech. Some others, there is still another very important one. Rhetorical question. This is a question that requires no answer. Immediately you see an expression and you have a question mark in the comprehension passage. When they tell you what is the figure of speech, it is a rhetorical question. And rhetorical question can be used to generate the anxiety, to make your audience flow along with you, for them to fill in the gap. Okay, by the time you are delivering your argumentative essay or delivering any speech and you give some questions, it will make the audience to reason along with you. It's a speaking skill. For example, who among you will not want his child to be given the best education? It's a question that requires no answer. The answer is implied, and the person you are talking to will answer to himself, not necessarily to you. That's what you call a rhetorical question. So for example, you can also have Cain in the Bible has got a rhetorical question. Am I my brother's keeper? So by the time you have a question mark and they are asking you what is the figure of speech being used, you know, you tell them is a rhetorical question. So then I want to move very quickly to grammatical name and function. Grammatical name and function. So when we talk about grammatical name and function, you have noun phrases, noun clauses, adjectival phrase, adjectival clause, adverbial phrase, adverbial clause. After today's class, if you are still not clear, you go to the tips or clips that I have done on these topics. Then you can also consolidate that with standard textbooks. But anything I'm just saying, they will be the use of the traditional approach to identifying these things, and it might not necessarily be as broad as it's used to actually be. But then, for the purpose of Waec, I will limit it to what you need for the purpose of your Waec. So when we talk about phrases, traditionally, they are a group of words that does not express complete thoughts. They do not give complete ideas. So they traditionally do not have finite verb. And if they will have verbs at all, it will be non-finite verb. Phrases, they are, because you have non-finite phrases, so they will not have finite verb. They will have infinitive verbs. It could be to infinitive, it could be ing infinitive, it will be ed infinitive. And traditionally, most of these classes are still under noun phrases, traditionally. So when you even now talk about noun phrases, or in the actual sense, it can start with article. We have 3 articles in English language. Article, it can be pre-modified by article. Article A, an, and D. When you see it beginning an expression, is a noun phrase. It can be pre-modified by possessive. Our, your, is. That's possessive adjective. Your house, his book. These are noun phrases. Then it can start with gerund. Gerund is an ing infinitive not preceded by form of be. Running is good. Coming to school is good. Going to church on Sunday is good. When you say going, writing, coming, starting a sentence, it is a noun phrase. This is Waec example. Maneuvering a tanker is arduous. Maneuvering in that place is indicating a noun phrase. When you have an ing infinitive not preceded by a form of be, it is a noun phrase. Then, for example, this is an echo example. Fixing someone up is arduous. Fixing someone up. Fixing in that case is a noun phrase. So, then when you have how plus to infinitive, how to read, how to fight, how to talk, how to come, how to read, how to whatever, is a noun phrase. Another starting thing that can start a noun phrase traditionally is the to infinitive plus present tense verb. To sing, to fight, to cook, to come, to whatever, is an indication of noun phrase. Then when you now talk about these noun phrases, it can serve as subject when it appears before the verb. It can serve as object when it appears after the verb. It can serve as complement. When it appears after the verb, you have equative verb before it, am, is, are, was, were coming before it, and it refers back to the subject. Then when it serves as apposition, it appears before the verb and refers back to the subject. I will give you example. Noun phrase as subject of the verb. This Waec example. The beautiful thing about this insect is that they pollinate flower. The beautiful thing about the insect. D is article. When you say an article begin an expression, is a noun phrase. Insect is a noun. A noun phrase we have head word. So in that place, you don't have any finite verb in that expression. That is a noun phrase. Subject of the verb is. This is another Waec example. The major drawback in the use of chalkboard is that it is temporary. The information is temporary. The major drawback in the use of chalkboard. D there is an article. Drawback is a noun. Chalkboard is a noun. A noun must have head word. So that is a noun phrase. Subject of the verb is. So here I say this book is good. This is a demonstrative. Demonstrative can begin a noun phrase. It's pre-modified by a demonstrative. Book, there is the head word. This book is a noun phrase. Subject of the verb is. So our house is far. Our there is a possessive adjective. Your book, my car, our house, his house. These are possessive adjective, and they can begin a noun phrase. Then it will be subject if it's appearing before the verb. It will be object if it's appearing after the verb. So you say how to read is good. How to drive is easy. When you say how plus to infinitive, it is a noun phrase. So take notes. These are indicators of noun phrase. Then when you noun phrase can also have a subject when it appears before the verb. All the ones I've given, they are subject of the particular verb. So when I say okay, there are noun phrases as object of the verb. He killed the goat. He killed the goat. They underline the goat. The goat in that case is object of the verb killed. Let's say I saw the man. The man. There is article. Man, there is a noun. So in that case, you have noun phrase, object of the verb saw. So that is noun phrase. Then when noun phrase is coming as complement, you have am, is, are, was, were in between the subject and what you have after the verb, which will now be the complement. In other words, there is a case of co-referencing, co-referentiality. You say, I am a teacher. I is still the teacher. Is still a teacher. I am. Am there is an auxiliary verb, be auxiliary verb, and is an equative verb. It's equalizing what you have before the verb. So, I am a teacher. A teacher there will now be complement of the subject I. Is a fool. Is a fool. A fool is a noun phrase. Complement of the subject E. So, before you can call something complement, it will have equative verb, meaning that what you have before the verb and after the verb refer to each other. So now you can now talk about noun as apposition. Is maybe Neko example. Nigeria, the giant of Africa, is rich. The giant of Africa still refers to Nigeria. The giant of Africa still refers to Nigeria. So the giant of Africa, there is article. Giant is a noun. Africa is still a noun. A noun phrase, we have a noun as the head word. So a noun phrase by its very nature will not have a finite verb. Phrases don't have finite verb. So you know that in that case, that is what you call a noun phrase in apposition, because it refers back to the subject and you have it before the verb. So in apposition to the subject, Nigeria. Mr. Adebisi, the mathematics teacher, is intelligent. Mr. Adebisi is still the mathematics teacher, and the two subjects refer to each other. They appear before the verb. So is in apposition to the subject, Mr. Adebisi. So now, let's move to noun clause. Traditionally, that can begin a noun clause when you have a verb before or after the that clause is a noun clause. What can begin a noun clause when you have a verb coming after the underlined expression is a noun clause. How, if it's not how to, if it is not how plus to infinitive, if it is how, WH, that begin an expression, is a noun clause. Then personal pronoun, I, you, we, they, he, she, it, when it begins an expression, call it a noun clause. It's no other thing, it's a noun clause. So for example, you say, what he told me is correct. They underline what he told me. What there is a WH. He there is a personal pronoun. Told there is a finite verb. A clause will have a finite verb. Traditionally, it will have a finite verb. So what he told me in that case will be noun clause, subject of the verb is. I know that God is good. I know that God is good. They underline that God is good. That is beginning. Then is there is a finite verb. Finite verb is a verb that is marked for tense, number, person. So make sure that you reflect on what your teachers have taught you. So I'm just consolidating. If you need me personally, I have an office in Ilesha, Otakwete. topmost floor, Day OK Pharmacy. That's where I have my live classes, and joy be the consequence. So that's just it. So when you have that, I know that God is good. That God is good is a noun clause. Object of the verb know. That you are intelligent is God's miracle. That you are intelligent is God's miracle. That you are intelligent is a noun clause. Subject of the verb is. So this is Waec example. He thought it was a tremendous idea. He thought it was a tremendous idea. The underline it was a tremendous idea. When you see a personal pronoun beginning an expression, it's a noun clause. So it's object of the verb thought. When it appears after the verb, it's object of the verb. When it appears before the verb, it's subject of the verb. Then take note, when the verb is a group of words, you look at the group of words to combine it together. Subject of the verb phrase, maybe is being molested. Maybe subject of the verb phrase as done. Maybe object of the verb phrase as come. Something like that. Mr. Olufemi Babatunde, thank you for watching us, sir. So that is what we are talking about. So when I talk about adjectival phrases, adjectival phrase functions like an adjective. Adjective by their very nature qualify a noun or a pronoun in a given sentence. So if I say stupid boy, stupid is an adjective. It's giving me additional information about the noun boy. If I say lazy man, lazy is an adjective giving me information about the man. If I say quick match, quick is an adjective giving me information about the match. So in other words, an adjectival phrase is a group of words that functions basically like an adjective in a sentence. And traditionally, an adjectival phrase can actually begin with an adjective. Traditionally, an adjectival phrase can still begin with preposition. But if it will begin with a preposition, you will have a noun or a pronoun coming before the expression. There's a he is intelligent. The underline intelligent. That is an adjectival phrase. I say the book on the table is mine. The underline on the table. On the table there will be an adjectival phrase. It qualifies the noun book. The mango in the fridge is rotten. The underline in the fridge. In the fridge there is an adjectival phrase. It qualifies the noun mango. So adjectival phrase is not really that difficult. Now when you use an adjectival clause by its very nature qualifies a noun or a pronoun that precedes it. And adjectival clause is also known as relative clause because it begins with a relative pronoun. What are the relative pronouns it will begin with? Who, whose, whom, which. When you see these expressions beginning an expression, these words beginning an expression, they are relative clauses. And at times they may want to confuse you and say for whom, to whom, by which. They are still relative clauses. Because a clause in that expression, they will always have a finite verb. A clause will have a finite verb. A relative clause by its very nature will qualify the noun or pronoun that precedes it. And when it is that begins a relative clause, you will have a noun or a pronoun coming before the that clause. When it is a that begins a noun clause that is used for a noun clause, you will have a verb coming before the expression. So just take note of this dichotomy. When it is that, you will have a verb coming before the that clause. It will now be a noun clause, object of the particular verb or subject of the particular verb. But when it is a that is functioning as a relative clause, you have a noun or a pronoun coming before it. For example, the envelope that I gave you is good. That I gave you in that case is functioning as a relative clause. It qualifies the noun envelope. The book which I gave you is good. Which I gave you is a relative clause. It qualifies the noun book. The matter to whom I discussed it has been resolved. To whom I discussed it, to whom in that case is a relative clause. It qualifies the noun matter. The book, the woman who killed her husband has been arrested. Who killed her husband is describing the woman. It's functioning as an adjective. So that's a relative clause. It qualifies the noun woman. So take note. Very simple. You must not miss it. Then I would like to go to adverbial phrases. Adverbials by their very nature modifies verb, adjective, or another adverb in a sentence. But for your exam purpose, it usually modifies verb. So adverbial phrase by this very nature, adverb, it can be adverb of time, adverb of manner, adverb of condition, adverb of concession, adverb of frequency, adverb of whatever. Different adverbs. So adverb of time, we answer the question when. Adverb of place, we answer the question where. Adverb of manner, we answer the question how, and many other questions like that. So when it is an adverbial phrase, it can begin with preposition, it can begin with adverb, and it can begin with subordinating conjunction. But in most cases, it will always begin with preposition and adverb. For example, if I say, he died on the road, he died on the road. When you have a prepositional phrase coming after a verb, it is adverbial phrase. It modifies the verb died. He sang beautifully. He sang beautifully. Beautifully there is adverb of manner. When you see adverb beginning an expression, it is an adverbial phrase. It modifies the verb sang. This is Waec example. The car swerved widely across the road. Widely across the road there is an adverbial phrase. It modifies the verb swerved. So, or it can also begin with preposition. I came before the rain. I came before the rain. It's talking about when did you come, before the rain. So that is an adverbial phrase. It modifies the verb came. He went to my school. To my school there is he went where? To my school. So it modifies the verb went. So that's adverbial phrase. Then when it's adverbial clause, strictly speaking, in the strict sense, it usually begins with subordinating conjunction. What is subordinating conjunction? Subordinating conjunctions are in most cases used to introduce a dependent clause. Subordinating conjunctions are examples: if, until, although, because, when, while, and many other words like that. As soon as, in order that, although, because. So when you see these expressions, they can begin adverbial clauses. Then when you see prepositions like after, before, and you have a finite verb in the expression, then it is being used as adverbial clause. For example, I came before the rain started. Before is a preposition, but before the rain started, you have a finite verb there. It's talking about when did you come. So there is an adverbial clause. It modifies the verb came. He died after he won the scholarship. He died after he won the scholarship. After he won the scholarship, there is an adverbial clause. It modifies the verb died. So you say, he left while I was in Canada. He left while I was in Canada. While I was in Canada is talking about when did he leave. He left while I was in Canada. While there is a subordinating conjunction. So it modifies the verb came or left. So that is adverbial adverbial clause. Adverbial clause. If it rains, I will not come. Thank you, sir. Professor Labisi Ayodele, thank you for watching us, sir. If it rains, I will not come. If it rains, if there is given condition, that's adverb. So if is like a subordinating conjunction. If it rains, I will come. If it rains, so it modifies the verb. If it rains, there is a verb. So a clause we have a finite verb. Finite verb is marked for tense. Is it present tense, past perfect, present continuous, third person singular? It will mark for tense. If it rains, it will mark for person. It is a third person singular. So a finite verb will be marked for tense. So clauses have finite verb. So for you to call an expression a clause, you will look at it. Does it have a finite verb? So these are the clues. It's a bit technical, but by the time you go through different materials and you listen to your teachers very well, it will be clear, very simple. You must not miss it. It's 3 marks in your O-level English. So if it rains, I will not come. If it rains, there is an adverbial clause. I will not come. It modifies the verb phrase will not come. It modifies the verb phrase will not come. In the olden days, they can mark it modifies the verb come. But in recent time, they don't want to mark it like that again. You rather say it modifies the verb phrase will not come. So just look at the phrases that appear close to the verb, to the structure of the sentence. So without wasting our time, we have dealt with the paper 2 revision and the comprehension passage. Now I want to move to the essay writing. We have done so many things on essay. Students of school going age can go through the essays that we have treated, and I want to tell the society or the students watching me that essays marked based on content, organization, expression, and mechanical accuracy. When you talk about the content, you're talking about the relevance of what you are writing to the question that you are given. For example, if the question says write on the problems and solution, and you just discuss the problem without discussing the solution, you will not score the mark. If the question says write on the effects and the solution, you have to talk about the effect and solution. If the question says write on the strengths and weaknesses, you don't write the strengths without discussing the weaknesses. So make sure that if the question says write at least 3 reasons, the Yoruba of at least is okay, but because Waec wants you to write 450 words, you can go ahead to discuss like 5 reasons. You write introduction, you write conclusion. Every essay must have introduction. That is, there you are giving a clue to whatever you want to write. Introduction, body, which must be developed in paragraph, then conclusion, which is ibi tó fi ẹnu ọ̀rọ̀ jóná sí, ìgbàlọ́gbàbọ̀. When you write, you must make sure that you write your conclusion very well. So, and the way you write the introductory paragraph of different essays differ. In the introductory paragraph of informal letter, you greet. You ask about the condition. You make reference to previous conversation. You state the purpose of writing the letter. In the introductory paragraph of formal letter, you go straight to the point. You reflect on the reason why you are writing the particular letter, and you go straight to the point. In the introductory paragraph of argumentative essay, you talk about the vocatives, which is the greeting. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, co-debaters, timekeeper, the moderator, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow audience. Standing before you on this August occasion is this, that. You mention your name. Representing, you mention your school. Then you, on the topic, which states, you mention the topic. Then you discuss the key information, like operational definition of term, the key topics, moral laxity among children of school going age, the home and the school, not to blame, is to be blamed. You talk about what is moral laxity, you let us know. What is school, let us know. If you are saying day school is better than boarding school, what is day school, let us know. What is boarding school, let us know in the introductory paragraph. Civil rule is better than civilian rule. What do you understand by civil rule? What do you understand by civilian rule? So these are perspective to the writing introductory paragraph of different essays. Then when it is speech writing, it starts with a title. A speech delivered by Kehinde Ogunshiji on the occasion of the end of the year program of my school, Preferred Comprehensive College, Ilesha, today, 26th August 2024, in the school assembly hall. That is the typical title for speech. Speech is usually for occasions. And when writing a speech, it is usually formal. When you are writing a speech, you have to, after writing the title, you greet. After the greeting, then you reflect on the reasons why you are delivering the speech. You reflect on achievement. You reflect on the challenges. And you reflect on the solution to what you are trying to discuss. So these are the perspective to writing different essay. It is important for children of school going age to have read a lot of model essays. Most especially, the Waec series serves as an invaluable tool for them to have been able to go through a lot of wonderful essays before they write their very final examination. And also standard textbooks. Writing skill is a productive skill. So before you can be a good writer, you must have read a lot. That's why you have where you gain the requisite mental capacity to write. But it's a sorry case today that children of school going age are lazy readers. That's why we have lazy writers and lazy speakers of English language, because it's a productive skill. It's a productive skill. So you have to have read a lot before you'll be able to write. So I just chipping in that. Then when you talk about article, you have this language from the examiner. Write an article suitable for publication. If you don't see write an article, it's not usually an article. It's not. Write an article. Then the article is usually on a topical issue in the society. Maybe fuel scarcity in Nigeria, effects on Nigerians and the ways out. Examination malpractice in Nigeria and suggested ways out. On problem of unemployment in the society and the suggested ways out. These are topical issues. Reawakening the interest of the youth on agriculture. These are typical article. Then how do you start an article? Article usually starts with topic. After the topic, preferably write your topic in capital letter and don't underline it. So after that, you have the introductory paragraph, which is a reflection on the reasons why you are writing the article, on the things happening in the society on that very topic. Then you develop your ideas paragraph by paragraph. Firstly, secondly, in addition, furthermore, moreover, more so, these are cohesive devices and linkers that make your essay to be what? Logical. So it is important for you as a student or candidate for examination to use cohesive devices to link your point. It will make your essay to be coherent, and it will make your ideas to flow. So very much important. Then when students of school going age today don't know the difference between paragraph and a sentence. A paragraph is a conglomeration of different sentences. And in fact, when you talk about the paragraph, you have what we call the topic sentence and supportive sentences. So if you are raising 5 points in your essay, you develop the 5 points in different paragraphs, where in which case you are supposed to just discuss a particular point. After discussing the point, when you write the point, then you have supportive sentences. That is why teachers should teach children sentences before they teach them essay writing. because sentence will lead us to paragraph, and paragraph will then lead us to essays. But today, students, even though when they have points, write a letter to the chairman of your local government asking for 3 basic needs of the community. Health care facilities. What are the things that is on the health care? When you talk about health care facility, you have to reflect on how the problem of not having health care facility has disturbed the people. If there is provision for health care facility, what are the ways that people will benefit? That is how you will develop that paragraph before you move to another paragraph. So it's very, very much important for children to know how to develop essay, because Waec wants you to write 450 words. If your essay is not as long as that, you will lose some mark under content and under organization. So there is always reward for well-written essay, and most especially when you don't misinterpret the question. Make sure you don't misinterpret the question. So very, very much important. So I would just like to discuss the language of informal letter. Informal letter is chatty. Informal letter is intimate. Informal letter allows for use of contracted form, e.g. I am. You say I apostrophe am. Didn't. Did. N apostrophe T is approved in informal letter. Then you can use slangs, but it's not to dominate your write-up. Then you make use of tenses, concord, vocabularies, idioms, phrasal verbs will be well rewarded while you are writing your informal letter or any form of essay. So it's very much important for you to use these things very well. Then more importantly, make sure you use simple and correct sentences. Then students of school going age today, most of the time they use and they start sentence with a lot of things that are not tenable with the examining body. Some will start sentence with because and some other things like that. So it's not approved. A sentence must begin with a paragraph must begin with cohesive device. Thank you very much, sir, for watching us. Mr. Timothy Adekusibe, God bless you too, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate your prayers and everything. So that's what we are talking about. When you are talking about writing essay, it's important for you to write very well. So informal letter is written to brother, sister, uncle, aunt, nephew, cousin. So you write the writer's address. After the writer's address, you write the dates. After the dates, you write the salutation. Don't write dear friend. Write dear plus name of your friend. Dear Tope, dear Titi, dear Shola. Follow with a comma. Don't write dear uncle. Write dear uncle plus name of your uncle. Dear uncle Tosin. Dear sister Kolapo. Dear brother Ulumide, and several other things like that. Then you have introductory paragraph. If the question says write at least 3 reasons why you don't want your sister to give back to another baby, discuss like 5 reasons, because you want to write a lengthy essay. Minimum of 3.5 reasonable pages. Minimum of 3.5 reasonable pages, or 4 pages. So make sure you write extensively, you pour out your mind. When you raise a point, develop it logically. Read several wonderful essays. I will not dwell much on giving examples. I've done that in my previous clips. I've treated informal letter, I've treated formal letter, I've treated article, I've treated article writing, I've treated argumentative essays very well. So if you have problem with them, you can go to my clips and watch them. You can watch them. So I would like to go to, then when you write the body of the essay, you develop the body of the essay, it is important for you to write the conclusion. A typical conclusion of informal letter will have reiteration, emphasis of your points that you have developed, then urging your reader to agree with what you are doing, or to agree with what you are saying, or urging your reader to take the advice or to yield to the advice that you have given. Then expectation of reply. I will be expecting your reply very soon. Thanks and bye for now. Yours sincerely. Capital Y, small s, follow with a comma, then your name. You don't write any other thing, because any other thing you are writing will not be in the marking scheme. Quote me anywhere. Then let's go to formal letter. When you talk about formal letter, it's known as a business letter, an official letter. Formal letter is written to the governor, the president, the editors of newspaper. Mrs. Oladele Oluwabunmi, thank you very much for watching us. I appreciate everybody watching us. God bless you. So, to the chairman of your local government, to the divisional police officer, to whomever that you are not even really familiar with, it could even be written to your principal. It could be written to editor of a newspaper. That's what you call a formal letter. So the characteristics of formal letter is strictly official. Formal write-ups, you do not use the contracted form, because you are writing something official. So you write the writer's address. After the writer's address, the date under it. After the writer's address and the date, then you write the receiver's address. The receiver's address, you frame it, you get it, you have a clue from it, from the question you are giving. Write a letter to the Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Abuja. Write a letter to the Commissioner for Education, the Honorable Commissioner for Education, Ministry of Education, Osogbo, or Akure, or whatever. So, write a letter to the divisional police officer, the divisional police officer, Ayeso Police Station, Ilesha. So that's how it is being written. So after the receiver's address, you write the receiver's address. I'm very sorry, somebody is disturbing my phone. After the receiver's address, you write the salutation. Dear sir, dear ma. If you are not sure of the gender, you write dear sir. Capital D, capital S, follow with a comma. After that, then you write the title. The title, preferably write the title in capital letter. Because children of school going age in recent time are too careless. There are some words you must not capitalize, like preposition and some other things like that. But many of them will not be able to cope with the complexity. So it's better that you even just write everything in capital letter and forget about it. Then after that, you write the introductory paragraph. The introductory paragraph, you don't greet, you don't ask about the condition, you explain the reason why you are writing the letter, and you go straight to the point. Then you develop your essay paragraph by paragraph. Students should take note that when they discuss problem, it is important and imperative for them to discuss solution. When you discuss strengths, when you discuss weaknesses, discuss strengths. Make sure you analyze the question. I would like to read some questions to you. I would like to read some questions, and that's how you must be able to analyze question before you must be able to analyze questions very well before you jump at it. Because if you just jump at question and you misinterpret question, you will not be able to score the marks very well. So it's very much important for you to interpret questions very well. You must be able to interpret questions very well. I will just read some few questions. It says, the frequent scarcity of petroleum product has been causing serious hardship to the people of your country. Write a letter to the editor of the newspaper expressing the views on the situation. Expressing views, not view, not one, not view. It's views. So view, like 3 views in like 3 paragraphs. Expressing views on situation and suggesting measures In other words, when you discuss the views without discussing measures, you have not really answered the question. So make sure that you understand what the question is telling you to do exactly. Here's another question. It says, write a letter to the Minister of Education stating at least 3 major problems which students face in their studies and suggest ways by which they can be tackled. Problems, not just one problem. Problems. Problem 1, firstly. Secondly, in addition, furthermore, like 4 problems. You have discussed like 4 problems, and you want to now discuss solution, ways through which these problems can be tackled. Ways the problems can be tackled. That is like another 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs. So each time you are reading a model essay, make sure you look at how paragraphs are being developed. This is one of the remote and immediate reasons why children of school going age, they write very wishy-washy essay, because they lack the requisite mental capacity and the strategic resources to write. You must be able to reflect and harness your requisite skill to write. Very, very much important. I will not really dwell much on that. I just give clues on other things. So when you talk about argumentative essay, you are either to speak for or against a given motion. When you speak for, you don't speak against. When you speak against, you don't speak for. The language of argumentative essay is persuasive. The language of argumentative essay is confusing. It's convincing, not confusing. It's convincing. So it is important for children of school going age to use language in a persuasive way. I start with vocatives. After that, which will comprise the introductory paragraph, you greet, you state your standpoint, you explain the key terms in the topic. After that, you develop your ideas paragraph by paragraph. You make use of rebuttal. You look for the counter claim of your audience or your opponent. You look for their counter, their weak point. I had my last opponent say, then you try to counter the argument. That is when you are writing essay. You counter the argument of your opponent, and you try. At the end of the day, you reiterate your points. You emphasize your key points in the conclusion. You emphasize it. Then you thank your audience for listening. Very important. That's an argumentative essay. So I will not really dwell much on that. So I have discussed article. When you talk about article, we start with title. After the title, you write your introduction. After the introduction, you develop your points paragraph by paragraph. When you discuss problem, maybe like 2-3 paragraphs, discuss solution in like 2 other paragraphs, it will make your essay to be lengthy, and it will make you to write a